I'll call this regular town council meeting of September 9th, 2025 to order at 7:02 p.m. Could you all please stand for the pledge of allegiance and hold up silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. So that brings us to item 4, proclamations and presentations, of which there are none. So then we are on to item 5, public petitions, communications, and public participation on any subject within the council jurisdiction. Just note that there's a 2-minute time limit. If you're in person, you can come up to the table. Online, raise your Zoom hand. In person, going once, twice. Online, last call. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, okay. School has started again, or I'm Beckett. School started last week on Tuesday. This year's budget wasn't great for the school. The nurse isn't open all day. Every day, like I needed to go to the nurse's office in one of my classes, and I couldn't because it was closed because the position for the nurse's assistant was cut. My classes are full. My history class is 24 people in it. There can't be more people in that. I'm in an honors history class. That is a high level class that typically has less people in it. My algebra 2 class isn't much better with 18 people. Everything's packed in together, and the school feels worse this year than it has in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Becker.
Anyone online? Back to in person, last call. And back to online, last call. Okay, so that closes out public petitions. Brings us to public hearing items, again, of which there are none. So item 7A, reports of boards and committees responsible to the council. Merrily, I don't know if the Firehouse Subcommittee.
Firehouse Subcommittee meets next week.
Okay, great.
So we'll have a report after that.
Okay. Brian, any updates you can provide us on the contaminated wells task force?
Sure, we met yesterday. The concern is, we got the grant from DEEP to work with different systems to make them metered system as opposed to timer based, which will cut the amount of sodium getting dumped into the ground by about 66% in the simplest of terms, roughly speaking. And we asked them where they are on that. They don't have an answer. There are so many variables with each house having different systems potentially and the costs, and they're trying to figure it out to get the most bang for the buck, working with a vendor that is approved through DAS. So they're working on it, but there is no update. CROG met today. We talked about salary surveys, and what those are basically, let's say you want to hire somebody, let's say you want to hire a town clerk, and you don't know what you're going to start the salary range. You can check and see what other towns in the ranges where you are. Or anytime you do your evaluations and such, you can see where you are. We talked about AI, and then developing future finance directors, workforce development in regards to that. And then Eastern Highlands, we renewed a lot of stuff was talked, Tolland related. We renewed our employee wellness program with them. We talked about the director's strategic plan for health of everyone involved in their district. And that was late August. I'll let you know when they have their next meeting in late December. So contaminated wells, CROG, EAHD.
Great. Just a couple of things on contaminated wells. I know we've talked about it, but just to reiterate, that's in the vineyards we're talking about, right?
Just the vineyards, yes.
And this is a grant that's being managed through DPH.
DEEP and DPH combined, yeah.
Okay, so the town we can't control sort of the pace or anything.
I wish we could. We are completely up to date with anything they need from us on our end. They wanted nothing from us to get their grant stuff done. Again, we've seen this before with different grants. There's been grants that we never even got, because it got mired so much in the state work. So it has nothing to do with the town or Eastern Highlands for that.
Okay, and is it more complicated than they were anticipating, given like some systems are newer or older? Like, did they think it was just gonna be?
I assume they knew that.
Okay.
It's just complicated getting it through on there. And again, they got to work with their approved vendors and such.
Thank you. Okay, so that brings us to reports. Oh, sure.
Recreation Advisory Board.
So that's seven B. So yes, 7B, go for it. We'll start with you, John. So yeah, council liaisons. Go for it, John.
I met with the members of the board as well as Rec Department Director Ryan Deneen, who provided his first report to the board since taking a position. He mentioned that there was evidence of rollerblading at the new pickleball courts at, I believe, Herring Cove. So the town installed signs prohibiting skating, and it seems to have mitigated the issue. The Rec Department continues to monitor well water quality issues at Crandall. This is primarily the drinking fountains and water in the restrooms. The well water tested positive for low levels of coliform bacteria, which is well within safe drinking water guidelines. But as Director Deneen said, it's the potential to have the potential for contamination. The town's chlorinated the well 3 times over the summer as a precaution. Director Deneen's working with Eastern Highlands and Department of Health to monitor the water quality and develop a long-term solution. I believe the town's shutting down the water for the season at the end of the month, right?
Yeah, you go ahead and finish and then I'll jump on it.
Okay, yeah, thanks. At River Park, Field 2 had the pitcher's mound updated to allow the field to be used as both a 46-foot Little League field and a 50-70 intermediate field. There's a new scoreboard that's been installed in the middle school softball field. And the rec department's looking into new fencing. Crandall Summer Camp was once again very successful this summer, and the Crew After School program and Tolland preschool program are both maintaining strong enrollment levels. Interest in the rec department's fall programs also remains strong, with enrollments up slightly from last year. And rec basketball registration's open, and Director Deneen said he's hoping to increase visibility and marketing of the program. And the Cider Mill Road Race is October 4th.
It's good to hear that the fall enrollments are, Brian, especially because I think is this the first year since we've used the federal funding when we were reducing the cost?
Without it.
Yeah, without it. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's good.
Yes. So the programs are so strong. The Tolland Tykes, everything is fantastic. Director Deneen was very strong in basketball in his previous job in Farmington. So that's fantastic. The rollerblading, we had the signs made up within our sign budget. We hung up at Herring Cove. If it becomes a consistent problem, we have those remote cameras that we can put up there as well. That we're not at that stage just yet. As far as the water, it happens every once in a while where the water tests positive, often after a big rain. Keep in mind that well is just on top of the beach area, right between the bathhouse and the beach, between like the playground and the beach area. So there's a lot. Every time there's heavy rain, it's more of a river than a pond. The forest empties out and goes right through there. We see the levels come up not every time, but a lot of times after a good heavy rain. That being said, is it possible that there's not a lot of casing in that well? Well, the well was probably built, we believe, in the 1960s, right around when the building was built. And we also believe that the septic tank is pretty close to it as well. But again, the well water is drinkable, but we shut it down just as a precaution. It will be getting shut down for the season coming up soon. But we are also within our capital plan is a new building for that to replace the Crandall's one. When we do that, we will look at relocating the well, and this will all be for that anyways, and that's within a couple of years. So not an issue.
We continually monitor the water to make sure it's.
We're required to test it once a month.
Okay.
Which we do.
Okay.
And then if it tests positive, then we test it more.
Okay. Thank you.
And the chlorination is just extra precaution.
Yeah. Great. Thanks, Sean. Yep. Councilor Buckler, any updates?
I got PCC. So they met August 14th. Their big discussion right now is they're planning the scarecrow contest as well as the harvest festival. biggest thing right now is Harvest Festival planning is underway. They have confirmed vendors. This year they've confirmed Rolling Smokehouse, Kona Ice, Jeff's Kettle Corn, and Henitized Meat, and a face painter. They're gonna have Frank Finnick and his band returning. They're still kind of getting more vendors, but it looks like so far so good. Harvest Festival this year is gonna be October 11th. Scarecrow contest setup starts this month, September 27th, goes till October 4th. With the voting starting October 6th, going to October 23rd. Breakdown to file the next 2 days.
Awesome, thank you.
So we had a confidence meeting, pre-planning meeting with a couple of members of the PCC. Then Brenda Faluzzi, who runs our farmers market, and our emergency services folks, CERT folks, just to kind of start planning it out. In addition to the vendors, Hops 44 and I believe a lobster truck as well. Have I believe for Hops 44 for sure. Then we're checking on the lobster truck. All the planning's been done. We'll be closing the road as we did successfully for last year. The ADA mats will be moved to accommodate the Scarecrow contest and the Harvest Fest. Right now, it's currently configured for the farmers market, but they'll have it moved in time for the Harvest Fest. So we'll, be ADA in regards to that. And the CERT team will be activated and everything. Thank you to the PCC. They're doing a great job in planning it and going above and beyond. And we're trying to find a couple of new things to do again. So it's going to be a good day, hopefully.
Great, thank you.
Thanks.
Councilor Beebe, do you have any?
PZC was canceled last night, so there is nothing to report. They'll have their regularly scheduled meeting in a couple weeks.
Great, thank you. Don't see Councilor Shea.
He's up
there. Oh, is he? Top left. Oh, sorry, there's a glare on.
Hey. No problem. Sure. So the Agricultural Commission did meet, unfortunately, at a family event that prevented me from attending. The Water Commission canceled their September meeting, and I literally just got out of the union negotiations with the admin folks at the Board of Ed, and they have finalized. They've come to an agreement. It was being tentatively signed as I was leaving to attend this meeting. So they had about a 2.5 hour discussion and were able to reach an agreement.
Great, thank you. And I will note the Commission on People with Disabilities had a special meeting. I unfortunately was unable to attend, but they had a representative from the Greater Hartford Transit District come and spoke with them about transportation issues in the Tolland area and ways that transportation could be improved, or accessible transportation could be improved for them. And I know that representative, I believe, provided her contact information so that if the public had questions or things like that, they could reach out. So I think that's fantastic. I think they also noted that just for various ways we can improve accessibility, but there isn't a ramp between at Crandall between the pickleball courts and the basketball courts. So just something that they noted as a place for improvement.
That'll be addressed.
Okay, awesome. And then the Historic District Commission has a meeting next week.
The basketball court's up, I believe, this year, very soon. We've discussed that, we had 1 to 10 or 20% contingency in there. We will be getting the ADA accessible area. It might not connect the two directly, but there's a few things we're gonna do. It's kind of a mess, that hill there, but there's some other issues, not just the court. We're gonna make it a better place as well.
Great. So maybe accessible to like the parking lot or like.
Correct. Yeah,
accessible to the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so that brings us to item 8, which is the new business. So item 8.1 is a consideration of a resolution to lease the South Hayfield of the town-owned parcel at 215 Hunter Road to John Dempsey and set the public hearing for September 23rd, 2025.
Thank you. So there's a field on 215 Hunter Road that the town owns. There's a barn, there's a lot of stuff down there, but part of it is a 5-acre field. It was previously baled for hay by a different company, and now the person that was actually doing it for them is going to do it on his own. We get paid $0 to do it, but it maintains the field and makes it look nice, and he does a good job, John Dempsey. Anytime there's any transaction, our charter real estate transaction, our charter requires a public hearing. This is a small dollar, this is obviously a small dollar amount thing, but we are required to have a public hearing to change the lease over to, from where, who was the, Dave?
Oak Ridge Dairy.
Oak Ridge Dairy was bailing it, it's 5 acres. There's not a lot of hay that you're gonna pull out of 5 acres, so that's what where John Dempsey's gonna do it and, or is asking to do it, and we were required to have a public hearing.
So this is a resolution to set the public hearing, is that right?
That's it.
Okay.
Yep.
Are there any questions?
I'm glad to see they're still interested in leasing it.
Just a quick question. Was there any indication as to why they want to transfer it over to John Dempsey as opposed to keeping with Oak Ridge?
Go ahead, Dave.
Yep, yeah, so John Dempsey at one point worked for Oak Ridge, hasn't worked for them for a while. When I called Oak Ridge to ask if they wanted to renew the lease, they didn't even know they had the hayfield. And said, oh, I think John Dempsey was doing it, and John confirmed he'd been doing it and would like to keep doing it. So he's been doing a good job, so.
Understandable.
Yep.
And if he didn't do this, right, the idea is like that parcel would sort of just go taken care of, that kind of thing, so it's good to have.
Yes, it's good to have, and we get a lot of, we hear if things get overgrown over there, on both sides of the street, and you got Crystal Springs on the other side of it, so it's free maintenance, basically.
Councilor Shea, anything? Just wanting to see. Okay. So I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution outlined in item 8.1 to set the public hearing for September 23rd, 2025.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Councilor Graney. Since we're hybrid, we'll do a roll call vote. Councilor Shea.
Aye.
Councilor Butler.
Aye.
Councilor Graney. Aye. Councilor Beebe.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well, so that passes unanimously. So that brings us to item 8.2, consideration of a resolution to authorize the town manager to execute a grant agreement under the Open Space and Watershed Land Acquisition Program with the state of Connecticut to acquire permanent interest in the Tolland Marsh property.
Great, thank you. So, as you know, the Tolland Marsh, beautiful land, the town has been engaged to purchase that land. We applied for a grant with the state of Connecticut and DEEP. We were awarded $87,000 roughly, and then the town would have to cover $47,000 to buy the entire marsh. Again, this is adjacent to the DeSantini property, Cider Mill, 84, Anderson Road, loosely in that area. Again, this is just a grant that we're going to execute. DEEP has asked that we do this ordinance in advance to help move things along. This has been going on for a couple years now. It's been slow, so we're just trying to move it forward. Dave, anything else?
No, I would just add, we've already entered into a purchase and sale agreement with Adam Grossman, so we've already committed to buying it. This is just to accept the money to help pay for it.
And the money that we did buy, or they're paid, the $47,000 will come out of the land acquisition, thank you, fund.
Thank you. Yeah, I know this has been going on for quite a while. It came through the Land Acquisition Advisory Committee a while back, and I know we had been working on things, so this is great to see that it's moving along. Can you remind us, is there sort of a plan for, it's gonna be sort of like a recreation sort of space, is that right?
We walked it a year or two ago with council and looking at different things. There will absolutely be trails. We will incorporate, I don't know if everyone's aware, but our rec department acquired kayaks, 6 of them, and then I believe we got 6 more again this year for free. We give them out for free. We'll incorporate that into it. We'll have some access into it. We have purchased a boat for all our waterways in town, a modest inflatable boat, but for emergency services, we'll work with Santini on connecting trails, hopefully down the road. But we have some ambitious plans for it, and the rec department will be involved in that when we do it.
And just to clarify, the intent is for it to be able to manage with the Conservation Commission.
Got it, thank you.
And then we're gonna have to work through the fishing.
Okay.
As well, down the road.
Any questions for the town manager? Great, yeah, no, I think this is a great project, and it's great that we're getting some grant funding for this, so I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution outlined in agenda item 8.2.
So moved.
I'll
Councilor Beebe, motion, Councilor Buckler seconded. We'll do the roll call vote again. Counselor Shay,
Aye.
Counselor Buckler,
Aye.
Counselor Graney,
Aye.
Counselor Beebe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well, so that passes unanimously. So item 8.3 is a consideration of a resolution to authorize the town manager to finalize the acquisition of the property at South River Road and setting a public hearing thereon for September 23rd, 2025.
So there's a piece of land of 7 or 8 acres, Dave?
It's about 8 acres.
8 acres off of South River Road. There's a roughly $35,000 tax lien on it. It went out to auction. In the auction, we got 3 bids. All 3 bids, they didn't do their due diligence, did not realize that there's no way to get to the land other than by helicopter, as it's completely landlocked by other property owners. What we want is for the town to acquire that land. And then we will offer it to the abutting properties and to see how much funding we can get for that. And that is the best solution, because obviously only the abutters can get into that property. Again, 35,000, 3 bids, it's landlocked. Anything else, Dave?
No, I would just, yeah, that's it. We'll have to take it to planning and zoning for an 824 referral, which we'll get back to you before the public hearing. Then the actual offering will happen in 6 months, because the current property owner has 6 months now to pay their back taxes and recover the title, but if they go through default status.
Would the 35,000 come from the land acquisition advisory or the fund, or?
We would just eat that, right?
Yeah, so yeah, there's no cost to the town, but yeah, we would lose our ability to recover the 35,000.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yeah.
Typically legal fees and such get covered in these transactions.
Any questions?
I had a question about the, how all 3 bidders were unaware that this was a landlocked piece of property.
Sometimes if you get a chance, come to the auction and see that they were all here for a different piece of property, and then it seemed really sweet. And so there was the bids. And then once they went through the bids, Dave reached out, or the council reached out, someone reached out, and none of them wanted it after they figured out there's no way to get there.
Oh.
You know, don't you tell them prior to, it's on you to do your due diligence before you bid on something.
Yeah, the tax attorney made very clear, do not bid if you don't know what you're buying, and
Okay.
there's a room full of people that got carried away.
And the rules state that if you win the bid, you have to put down $5,000.
Yeah,
That is correct,
That's
yes.
correct.
Yeah, they have to commit earnest.
And they forfeited that, but. Well,
I can tell you that people that
That's a
have
big
called
mistake.
for commercial property that we own will make assertions that are completely clueless.
Really?
These are people that should know a lot better.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Very good. And then the other question I had was there's a parcel next to it that the town owns, parcel number 27 with frontage on Kate Lane. Is it possible to, why does the town own that sliver of land there? Is that a right of way for something, or?
So that is a dedicated open space that we took with the subdivisions that happened around there. So we don't have any legal ability to provide access through there or to really do
Okay.
anything with
All right,
it.
that was-
So I think a lot of it's.
So you couldn't
Yeah.
combine those into a buildable lot?
When what is it, the open space, there's a rule, if your development is at 20%, has to be
Right.
dedicated to open space. If they want to build Kate Lane, now they gotta dedicate 20% to open space.
Gotcha. Okay. Great, thanks.
Any other questions? I'll just ask one. It looks like in the materials, does it seem like there's some interest from abutting property owners to,
There's a farm.
okay, great. That's great. Okay, if there's no other questions, I will entertain a motion to approve the resolution, setting the public hearing date for September 23rd, 2025, as outlined in agenda item 8.3. Moved by Councilor Buckler, seconded by Councilor Graney. We'll do the roll call vote. Councilor Shay,
Aye.
Councilor Buckler,
Aye.
Councilor Graney,
Aye.
Councilor Beebe,
Aye.
and I'm an aye as well, so that passes unanimously. Moving right along, that brings us to appointments to vacancies on boards and commissions, of which we have none. Agenda item 9, old business, we have none, so that brings us to the report of the town manager.
Thank you. As you know, Radio Coffee opened in town. We're excited about that, just off of Goose Lane and beginning of Merrill Road. I went there today, as did other counselors. It's fantastic. I recommend that everyone in town that likes coffee go and try it. Thank you to the town council members who responded to go to the Lieutenant Governor's Korean War Veterans Recognition Event Thursday, September 18th at our senior center. I look forward to that. Internally, we've done our non-employee union evaluations. They all went well. Today, John did an emergency management drill today with the state of Connecticut. We had our some of our new DPW employees go there, especially Dave Drost in charge of our highways. He's a critical person. If there's a tornado, a hurricane, a flood, he's someone we're going to lean on. So it was nice for him to see how John and his team operate during an emergency. The town bulky waste is coming. The week of October 6th is our one free bulky waste pickup. But you just can't put your stuff on the curb when they come. You got to call Willie Waste 860-423-4527 and notify them of what you're having to schedule the pickup. We did an e-blast on this, social media on this, trying to get the information out as much as possible. Electronics recycling event is upcoming Saturday, October 18th. It'll be electronics only, 8 a.m. to 12. Again, thank you to the CERT team for their help in this. This is going to be at Tolland High School, where it always is. We had talked a lot about Ordinance 60 and getting an update on that. We've had our internal meetings. I believe on our next council meeting, there'll be an update. Our staff is putting together a PowerPoint presentation to give you guys and give you a complete update on it. So I thank you. I thank council for their role in pushing this, getting us closer to the numbers that we want to be at. Our prevention specialists and health services folks have been working so well with the Board of Ed, and I thank them. I mean the schools, Tolland school systems. I thank Dr. Willett for connecting us and allowing this relationship to go. We're at freshman orientation at the high school and have some other events planned. I actually had another town manager reached out asking about the way we run this program and some of the ways we spend the opioid money. So they're doing a good job in getting some recognition. I love that there's a presentation on bobcats on September 16th at the Tolland Public Library at 7:30. They're going to bring a bobcat. I'm just kidding. They're not going to bring a bobcat, but it's going to be a great event. There was an owl event when they brought owls at one point.
So bobcat loose in the library.
You can pet them. Yeah, sure. Give them some treats. All right, that's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions for the town manager?
Can we get an update on Santini?
I drove through there today with our DPW director to watch the progress. It is fast. When you say update, when are they going to rent by?
Yeah, is there any update on projection to finish or start renting?
So
or-
they're going in phases, and you can see some of the buildings. One, they're nicer than I expected, and in loosely, I don't want to reveal conversations, but within the next 6 months or so, they're hoping to have to start renting. But again, it's only a couple buildings right now. They're going to start in phases and move from there. But my guess would be the first quarter or second quarter of next year is my guess.
Great.
Question.
I am going to second that because I had a resident tell me that they were initially worried about the way that would look back there and then say, oh my gosh, it looks so much nicer than I expected.
Nice to have a hometown developer who lives in town.
And this was somebody who was really skeptical and it was unsolicited. It
And
was
that's just the maintenance building they're seeing right now.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was, kudos to them.
So their plan is to they'll rent however many first units and then
Yep.
and then they'll kind of keep developing.
Phase back, if the front of it's the front area right there.
Yep. Do you know how many? Do you happen to know how many units are
240?
but in each building?
No, I don't have that.
I think it's 10.
Okay.
At least that's what that building now, there at least there's 10 garage doors.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, it looks great. And then Ordinance 60, I just wanted to follow up. So that's like our senior tax relief program.
Yep.
And so Jacob and I met with you, Brian, and some of your staff to start talking about this. And so this is to potentially, you'll come back to the council present, but potentially expanding.
Use of the benefit.
Great. So we have money set aside each year in the budget for that. We're not fully utilizing it, so we're trying to sweep in additional residents to take advantage of it.
Well said.
Okay, great.
Do we have a time frame for that?
next meeting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so,
Sorry.
At least we'll present. I don't know if we're gonna actually have a resolution or anything at that point, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And setting the public hearing.
That's it.
Following meeting.
We want to have it done before end of this our session here.
Yeah, I think that's great. Any other questions? So that brings us to agenda item 11, adoption of minutes. So we have regular and special meeting minutes to adopt from the August 26, 2025 meeting. So motion to adopt those minutes outlined in agenda item 11.1 and 11.2. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Beebe. We'll do the roll call vote. Councilor Shea.
Aye.
Councilor Buckler.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't present.
Sure. Councilor Greenie. Aye. Councilor Beebe.
Yes, sorry.
And I'm an aye as well. So that passes 4 yeas, and then Councilor Butler abstained. She was not here. So correspondence to council, Councilor Greenie.
Yes, we've had 2 emails that came in. Virginia Lane resident CC'd the council on an email to the town's director of planning and development, referring to a recent planning and zoning commission discussion regarding dark sky compliant lighting. And we received an email from the president of the Tolland Public Library Foundation Board of Directors with a copy of the foundation's annual letter and a request to discuss the report at the October 14th meeting.
Thank you. So agenda item 13, chairperson's report. Since Jake couldn't be here tonight, we'll move on to item 14, communications and petitions from council persons. Does anyone have anything they would like to mention? I'll say that I'll echo what Ryan said about having radio coffee putting up today. I think that's fantastic. I haven't been able to stop by yet. I know Councilor Greenie, Councilor Butler, maybe Councilor Beebe as well.
I went.
Also, they're all attended, but I have not yet gone. It looks very nice. Looks like they did a great job. So yeah, very happy to have them in town. And it's a great thing to have more businesses opening in town, especially a place like that. Yeah, absolutely.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
I did not expect it to be that nice and have that much seating for people, and people were there with their laptops doing work. It was fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's for those who don't know, it's in Gooseberry Commons behind American Creamery, the gas station there. So great spot.
I had a chance to talk with the owners, and they're really nice. They roast all the coffee in Vernon, bring it to Tolland, and they have a coffee shop in Portland, Maine as well.
Wow.
That's great. Are they originally from Vernon?
I think they all live in town.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Great.
all 4 of them.
Do you know why or how they have the main location? I'm just curious how that ended up.
Yes, it was I was talking to Steve, one of the owners, and he said that it was kind of the right place at the right time kind of thing.
Got it.
So
Great. Anything else? Councilor Beebe?
So I have, and thank you to Sarah Beth who gave us a comprehensive schedule for upcoming budget activities, which is, like, we should actually put it out there. It's a really long list, but given that we're about to jump into this again, and we've been, asked by the public, and we've actually talked as a full body about trying to make the process better. Maybe if we could have some kind of just small amount of time, if you could discuss with Jacob and maybe set aside a small amount of time so we could brainstorm a little bit.
Yep.
I think if we, with all of our various opinions, could come together and talk about it, and we could get some input from Brian and Yolita as well. And
Yeah, like a discussion topic, just on anyways, the process. could just be
Yeah,
more accessible.
yeah, just be, and it's, I was surprised actually when I got it, because it didn't seem we were that close to it, yeah.
It's already,
We have
it is up, the schedule or the calendar is up on the website.
It is, it's posted under the finance page, and there is a built-in workshop
Yep.
for counselors this year, which is new.
We added that this year is what you're saying is a workshop for us
When is it? I didn't.
after.
It's after the 3 meetings that present all of the individual department budgets to you guys.
Okay,
So you'll have all capital information and all operating information presented to you
Mhm.
at that point, and it's before you guys have to deliberate your final budget.
Okay.
So you have everything that's gonna be presented, but you haven't had to make a decision yet.
yeah,
That's kind of built in there.
yeah, no, I think that's
It's an opportunity for Yolanda to run scenarios and, you know, for you guys to hammer some of that stuff
And good
out.
for new counselors as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. It'll, hopefully it will make the subsequent meeting where we're gonna probably, adopt the budget a little bit smoother. I think that's great. I just want to clarify, Councilor Beebe, are you talking more about like process, like you'd like to see something on the agenda about just whatever can be, if we can improve on, getting
Yeah,
information out to the
talk
public
about-
as opposed
yeah,
to
talk about-
specifics of a budget.
Talk about maybe additional outreach activities, talk about process, talk about, yeah.
Okay.
All of that. And we know that we have attempted, various things over various years and, there's only limited public engagement, right? But we should still have the conversation,
Yeah, I
right?
think that's right.
And we're always been concerned.
Yeah, any way we can engage people, the more people, the better. So I think it sounds like it's a little bit of like different, right? So like the new
Mhm.
addition that you added to the budget, which I think is fantastic, will be helpful hopefully for the 26, 27 budget.
Yeah.
And so this maybe hopefully will be earlier, just like a macro.
And that would be great to have people be able to call in or like listen to that workshop. And is that it's just a council workshop, it's not like a public hearing?
I'm working with FOIA on that right now. I'm
Okay.
trying to determine what our options are.
Okay,
So stay tuned, I guess.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry, I don't have an answer, but working on it.
yeah, thank you.
Because I'm trying to figure out how we deal with minutes for
Yep.
that.
Mm.
A 4-hour budget workshop is not real conducive to a succinct
Yeah.
set of minutes. But given that it is a public meeting, we have to, so I'm working on it.
Okay.
So I'm concerned if we allow public participation that we then have to submit minutes. By not allowing public participation, it's exclusionary, so I'm just trying to figure out the best,
What's best,
Yeah, and that's
what's best for everybody.
without violating any rules.
right.
Correct.
Right.
And we
Correct.
will have obviously a public hearing on
Oh,
the budget,
yeah.
right? So
Nothing
that
else will
opportunity
change.
always
Just in addition
exist.
to.
Right.
It's in addition to, not in place of, so.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for
Absolutely.
looking into that earlier.
I mean, the request last year that came from council was so that you folks would have an opportunity to work together.
Mhm.
Not at 11 o'clock at night when everybody's exhausted.
Right,
So.
that's a big improvement.
If that's the intention,
It's more of a council.
it's more of a roundtable than it is, getting input from the public, which there's a lot of opportunity for leading up to
Right.
and after that.
Yep.
So.
I would just make sure that we are very clear about communicating the intent of the meeting.
Yep.
So that the public doesn't get the wrong impression.
Right, yeah. I think that, yeah.
Exactly, which is why, it's kind of a work in progress right now.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think it's an improvement to the process. And like Councilor Beebe said, if we can, as long as we're clear when we put it out there, right, here are your meetings that are about, that we're seeking, we want public input. This is a sort of like a workshop for the counselors or, however it ends up unfolding.
Right.
I think that's a great idea.
Chris, I do have one.
Yeah, sure.
It's mostly for Brian. As far as the Harvest Fest goes, the schools are under the impression they don't have a table this year at the Harvest Fest, and they have previously, and they had it Celebrate Tolland, but for whatever reason, they don't have one this year.
What school?
The schools.
The Board of
The
Education?
Board of Ed, I guess, in the past has always had a table at Celebrate Tolland and then the Harvest Fest last year, but I guess this year, they're under the impression they don't have a table.
That was nothing that came out of my office.
I didn't think it was, but I wanted to bring it up because I think that's the impression that they want to have a table still and they want to continue having a table.
Who told them they couldn't have one?
I don't know if they were explicitly told, but I thought it was a PCC thing. So I'll mention it at PCC on Thursday, but I wanted to bring it to your attention
No
as well.
problem.
Because I didn't think you'd have a problem with that, and I don't think anyone necessarily, it might just be an oversight. But I wanted to bring it to your attention.
Got it, thanks.
It might be a good thing to mention to the PCC if they want us like either them or us, someone specifically reach out or however they approach having people.
I think it can all be worked out, but
Yeah.
You know.
Yep, that's great. Do you guys want to
Two
catch?
quick,
Sure, please.
yeah. Brian, let's talk crime data. Well, when's your meeting with the commissioner?
Yikes, in a week or two.
Okay, all right, and we're supposed to see,
I don't know if you're gonna, he's come up with. Their data specialist has come up with some reports that he's hoping, now, is it gonna be Tolland reports? No, it's gonna be like. Burglary, and we're looking to include this, this, and this on these dates and ranges. We're refining what's going to be in the report. That has nothing to do with. This is step 2.
Yeah.
First one was getting him to be open to the idea.
Yeah.
You know, the last step will be coming here and saying, here's where we are crime wise. So
okay,
this is framing out what the report's going to be.
okay, all right.
So
And
categories of crime.
Sure.
will we have some input into that so we can like take a look at?
I'm sure, yeah.
Frame it, because, yeah.
I'm pretty good at it too.
Yeah, oh, I know. But it's, you know, it's gonna be important to show the residents, what their money's getting,
Yep.
you know, so. And to your point last time about the cops on the dots and making sure we're getting the types of data where we can respond at different times of the year and different.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was at the last meeting, you mentioned that there was a list compiled of like the most dangerous intersections in town and after the dirt bike accident. What's the plan for that? And is that something that we can be shared?
Sure. The plan is we give it to CROG. CROG is going to look into grant money, specifically identify grant money to get those areas looked at for improvements.
Okay.
Be it lighting, be it signage, be it infrastructure, you know, something along those lines, to have them improved.
Thanks.
Can you just forward that list on to council at some point?
Sure. Yes, it's 2 emails, one from John and one from Lieutenant Hayward at Troop City.
Great, thanks. And either in town manager or once you've met with the commissioner, to the extent that there's things that you could talk to about, can you just give us an update?
Yep.
On that?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Anything else?
I have a question.
For sure.
Because I know we talked about this kind of every once in a while, and it seems to never end, but is there any update on the litigation?
No.
For the,
Tolland Green?
thank you.
I think this isn't really much of an update. Did they schedule it for trial in February of 2027?
Yes, they have a schedule that they just had made public. And it looks like the trial is scheduled for 2027, but it doesn't look like the next hearing is until like summer of 26, which I find to be an odd timeline.
So did the Peoples with Disabilities, the commission, they reached out to me with frustration on that.
It's something that's not typical, especially for Rockville or Tolland Courthouse. It's really a long jump. So I don't know if it's something we brought up to our attorneys, just to say, hey, this is kind of an unusual timeline.
I'm going to meet with our attorneys, that's not Rick, remember it's a current appointed
Correct,
attorney.
right.
I'm meeting with them within the month in Weathersfield, so I'll bring it up with them.
So I believe they also have motions pending that haven't been heard yet, and to wait until summer of 26 to hear those motions would also be unusual. So probably should be on their radar.
Okay.
Yeah, I may talk with Jacob to see if it makes sense to try to set up an executive session or something, just to hear from them a little bit.
Mhm.
And maybe just see if there's anything we can do to encourage them to expedite.
Not a bad idea.
So that's great.
Yeah, that would be, and any other input we can get from the state agency as well. Like you said, the state agency on disabilities is probably not
No, this was our local,
our local, but
they're
even our
paying
local
attention to it,
people
yeah,
are,
they're the ones who reached out to me in frustration over,
yeah.
when she said 27.
I mean, I'm not even sure why this is
26,
going
She
to,
said, no, 27.
yeah,
It's very unusual.
why this is even going to another trial again after the last experience.
For them to set these dates is normal, but for that timeline is unusual for this kind of thing.
Because, just because they schedule the trial, that doesn't mean that it'll go,
Right.
No, I know that.
But I
I understand there's a lot that
agree,
happens
it's a
between that and
it's ways.
then a lot of stuff gets settled. I get that, but it's just like,
No, I agree.
so justice denied, justice delayed is justice denied.
Agreed, yes.
So.
This was something that predated, this kind of sort of started before the council prior to us. We've been seeing it through for the last 2 years and it will continue through. So I know we all, and the town manager, continue to support that
Yep.
endeavor and we'll do what we can to try to move that along to improve accessibility. Councilor Shea, anything? Just want to make sure I don't miss you.
Yeah, no, Councilor Moran, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thanks. If there's nothing else, we will move on to public listed participation on any subject within the jurisdiction of the council, and there's a 3-minute limit on this agenda item. I'll go to the room first. I will go online. Please raise your Zoom hand to indicate if you would like to speak. Back to the room. It looks like online, Nick M. If you could just ask Nick to unmute and just provide your name and address, please.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Miller. Can you hear me first?
Yes. Yes.
Sweet. All right. Hi, I'm Nicholas Miller. I live at 55 Hilltop Road. And I just want to say with like the upcoming elections, I just want to, advocate for the schools and say like it's important for me that our town continues to upkeep its school districts. And I know that the past few referendums have been voted down by the townspeople, but I think it's still important to keep trying to fund them well. Because at least for my future, I want to be able to at least have an option to live inside Tolland. And if we don't have good school districts, I am pretty sure I will not be able to live in Tolland because school districts is one of the most important things for me, especially if I want to have kids. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll go back to the room. Last call for online. And then last call for in person. Okay. So with that, we'll go to agenda item 16. Is there any objection to adjournment? Right, so without objection, we will adjourn at 7:49.